No,
you know what? One day I should have everybody just
Can't be too careful, though, those weirdos out there.
Where's the Warner Brothers of the sides, bro?
Oh, gotta ask yourself, do I feel lucky?
Marvel Legends Gauntlet, the Nano Gauntlet.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That is... What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Friday night here on Collectors Assemble Live. And man, we have another good one for you guys. We're breaking away from X-Men 97 for a bit and bringing somebody new to the show. And I'm really excited, man, because this guy is super talented. And if I were ever to be an actor, I would want to do the things that he has done, because he has done some of the best fandoms out there: Star Trek, Star Wars, Transformers, DC Comics. I mean, you name it. This guy is just super talented, is a collector himself as well. But I'm really excited, guys, because tonight on Collectors Assemble Live, we're going to have Titus Welliver on the show. And of course, he's also known for Bosch. That's been such a great hit on Amazon, which we'll talk a little bit about it in the show as well. But I'm going to bring my panel in, and then I'm going to bring our guests. And we're going to do something a little different today, too, because normally we take the whole show and we interview our guests and stuff. But because he's a collector, we're going to go at the end of the show and check out some of the new releases out there in the hobby and see what Titus thinks about, you know, the pieces that we show. So I'm excited about that. And we have another guest with us that's joined us before, my friend Rocco Tartamella, who I've been working with closely lately on the sculpt. So I'm super excited to have him. And he has some surprises as well that we're going to show. But let's get this show on the road, guys. I'm super excited. Let's bring on first my right hand. I've been watching Game of Thrones. My right hand, Josh McCoy. What's up, Josh?
What's up, man? Happy to be here as always. We have two fantastic guests on today that I'm super stoked to talk about. And I'm ready just to have a good show.
I'm so excited. Let me put this Feeding the Ducks music.
Let's go.
The fact that it says that, it's so funny. But anyway, dude, I'm excited. But thank you for being on. Thank you for being on. Let's see who else we got. We got the young boy.
Hey.
Aaron, what's up, man?
What's up, bro? Chilling. Excited for tonight. We got a special guest on. I don't like how he did my boy Ratchet in Age of Extinction, though, but I'm excited to meet him.
We got a bone to pick with him, right? Killed our boy Ratchet, man. That's so funny. I'm like, Aaron, we're gonna have Titus on. Is that the guy who killed Ratchet? I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious, bro. All right, let me bring on my next guest. Hold on. Mr. Kennedy in the building. What's up, man? You're on mute. Oh, you rookie. You rookie.
Get it together, man. Get it together.
I can't help it. Today's guest got me like this. I'm just like super excited, super nervous. It's like everything all in one right now.
Nah, dude, you're good, man. Thanks for being on, bro.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to have you on. I can't wait to talk to Titus. Let's get Sean in the building as well. Sean, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys? Good to be here. Looking forward to this show.
Now, do you got a con this weekend?
No, not this weekend. I am waitlisted on Dallas, Fan Expo Dallas for next weekend. So it might be a last minute thing, but the weekend after that, I'm going to be at Heroes Con in North Carolina.
You know what's funny? I'm going to be in Dallas that weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not the weekend of the con, the week after. I'm like, great.
Okay. Well, wave to Fan Expo as you pass it by.
I will. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, let's see who else we got on here. My boy, Mr. Rocco Tartamella.
How's it going, everybody?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Pretty excited about today's show.
Did you just Jersey Shore us, or you're just like...
I don't watch that stuff. No. No.
Oh, man. Dude, I'm happy to have you on, bro.
Good to be back.
Listen, I talk to Rocco almost like every other day now, so it's like you never left. Appreciate you being on.
My pleasure.
I'm excited, man. Obviously, we've been working on the sculpt, so really looking forward to that too. But let's continue on with our guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome on board with us Titus Welliver. Thank you so much for being on, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. I'm really happy to be here.
Dude, I really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, man, like extremely busy. I know me and Rocco talked about this a while ago, and I'm like, man, whenever he has time, I just appreciate it. I know he's busy, but we're here now, and I really want to thank you, man. I really appreciate you being on.
It's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure. I'm never too busy to come on and swing with you guys. I'm very excited. Cool. Very excited.
That's awesome.
Rocco and I have been, we've had a dialogue going on for years now. I don't even know how many years it's been, Rocco. What, I mean, 4 or 5, maybe more.
I think more. Yeah.
But we connected on Facebook, and Rocco's like he's like the Italian Santa Claus. Like every now and then, I get a message, and it's like, "Hey, dude, check your mailbox." And then I'm like, "What?" It's a Snake Eyes bust, and I'm like, "What?" My kids are like, "Dad, that is the shit," and I'm like, "Back off." That's
not for them.
But to watch, also to be in real time, to watch an artist as great as yourself, to see the process of creating all the work that you do, man. It's just it's very exciting for me, and it's a privilege to be your friend. So I just want to say thank you for bringing us all together, because the circle is now complete.
Yes, it is. I couldn't say it any better, man. Rocco's been awesome since I've met him. So. And we do a lot of reviews here on ToyQuest. I reviewed a lot of his work, and I admire it, of course. And now we're working on the sculpt. So I appreciate you making this happen, because if it wasn't for Rocco, this would have happened. So thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for entertaining crazy Italian Santa Claus over here.
I meant, no, you know what? I think there's a figure in that. That'll be Rocco's Christmas card next year.
Maybe. I do have a Santa Claus.
Right?
You got to do Dominic the donkey too, his sidekick. The Italian Christmas donkey.
Dude, that's funny. Listen, I can't wait to talk about collectibles with you too, because you're a big collectibles fan. But I want to kind of start off with talking about how you kind of got into acting. I mean, from what I understand, your family is from the arts. You've been everywhere. You've been in Philly, which I'm right outside of Philadelphia. I'm here in Jersey. You've been in New York. You've been in Boston. But talk to us about how you started just acting, because your acting career has been crazy, and I love it. I want to talk about that a little bit too. But tell me the origin story of Titus.
Well, I originally, as you said, my father was a very accomplished fine artist. He was a painter, abstract expressionist named Neil Welliver. My mother was a fashion illustrator and an illustrator, and so I grew up surrounded by really successful and well-known artists as a kid. So it was around me all the time. And in that age came, in the 60s, I feel like that's when comic books, particularly comic book art, it was starting to turn, the whole thing between Marvel and DC. I think Marvel was more on the edge of things. They were doing stuff that and tackling subjects that nobody wanted to get near, such as race and drug use. And so I originally thought, well, what I really want to be when I grow up is Frank Frazetta or like Gil Kane or somebody like that. And so I went through years that was being, my trajectory. And I studied formally with my father starting at the age of 12. And then by the time I got to art school, because I'd had his instruction, there really wasn't a lot that they could teach me. Not that I knew everything, but I already knew. I knew color. I knew about mixing color, applying paint. So I went to art school for a year, and I came away kind of disenchanted. And it was hard because standing in the shadow of my father, who was, very, very famous American landscape painter.
Yeah.
But so I went to art school for a year, and I kind of blew it. I drank a lot of beer. I smoked a lot of weed. didn't go to class. I know nobody else did that, but and after a year, my father sat me down. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. I mean, I want to continue to paint. And he said, well, what do you think about? What do you dream about when you're not thinking about girls and drinking beer? And I said, I think about acting. And he said, well, then that's what you have to do. And so I packed up an army duffel bag with as much as I could fit in it, and went back to New York and started studying and doing theater in New York, and that's a long and arduous, not a romantic tale at all, but
right.
And then things started to connect. Little part became a bigger part, and I just feel incredibly blessed and fortunate to be able to do that which I love. And so that's really been my prime directive has always been to continue to do what I like. And look, there's dry spells where I think every artist goes through that. You either get a block, you're working on something, you're drawing something, you're sculpting something, and you're like, I don't know that it's burnout. I think it just sometimes one figures it out, or for whatever your muse isn't present in that moment. And that's a really challenging part when, as they say, the going gets weird and the weird turn pro, and then you kind of figure it out and move past it.
Well, listen, man, you obviously super talented. I said in the beginning of the show that if I ever wanted to be an actor or just involved in anything movie-wise, it would be the roles that you've done. Because, and I'm curious too, because as a fan and as a collector, I mean, you've been on Star Trek, you've been on The Mandalorian, which was phenomenal. The little part that you did was funny as hell. I loved it. It was great. Lex Luther, right?
Yeah.
Falcone, right? I mean, Transformers, like, Aaron's upset because you killed Ratchet, but like you've played these fandoms that like have been awesome, right? And for me, you're a collector. So is that something you were going after? Is that something that an opportunity, kind of came up? Or is that something where you got the opportunity, was like, oh, I definitely got to do this type of thing? Like, as a collector, getting those spots in those roles, how did that come about and make you feel?
Well, I've been a collector pretty much my entire life, certainly my entire adult life. And as a kid, I was one of those kids that just took care of their stuff, man. I grew up in the era of the 12-inch GI Joes, nice. The Adventure Team, Major Matt Mason, and there was a great toy. You guys, I'm sure you remember it, because they brought it back out in the 2000s, named Captain Action, and he was a short-lived 4-issue comic book that DC did, and he had a sidekick, Action Boy, and it was drawn by Wally Wood and Gil Kane. So it was like all the best guys were involved with this, but it was really like a placement thing to sell this toy, Captain Action. And the thing about Captain Action was you could buy costumes of all your favorite superheroes to hook him up with. So they had Batman and Sergeant Fury and Spider-Man, Green Hornet, Steve Canyon, Superman, Superboy.
Nice.
And that always kind of put the hook in me. I think the thing that always kind of traveled in that way for me was the excitement of storytelling, which I felt that comic books did so well. And that's really ultimately what, people in the 60s, people were still kind of, poo-pooing and looking down their nose at comic books.
Right.
And now we look at it and it's finally, not finally, but for a long time it wasn't, and it is now truly recognized as an art form.
Yeah.
And to me, that's amazing. But so I guess that's a long-winded way of responding to your question, which is of course, I've always thought, like, after I saw Star Wars, boy, wouldn't it be great? I'd love to be in a Star Wars movie. That would be a dream. But these things, ironically, kind of, I don't want to say fell into my lap, but they were just circumstances that worked out well. Transformers, I had worked for Michael Bay on something else. Transformers came up, and I was thrilled, and finally I got the respect of my children. And you know,
Not easy to do.
It's not the respect of Aaron because of Red.
yeah, you know, I could get an Oscar for playing, you know, Hamlet in a film, and they'd be like, yeah, whatever, you know. But the fact that I was, you know, rolling with the Transformers made it a whole different thing. And Mandalorian, that was directed by my friend Bryce Dallas Howard. I got a call from her, and she said, I got a thing. I think you want to do it. I can't really tell you what it is. So, you know, I sort of had to jump in. And then,
it was a surprise.
Yeah, it was a total surprise. And I had just had a conversation the day before with Pedro Pascal, who's an old friend of mine. He and I did the TV series The Good Wife together.
Good Wife, yeah.
And I reached out and just said, hey, man, Mandalorian is great. I love the show so much. Congratulations. And he said, you know, well, would you ever want to do it? And I went, do you remember who you're talking to? Of course. You know, I'll be a stormtrooper. I don't care. That doesn't matter. And it all kind of worked out. So in that way, those jobs, I can tell you that my inner geek lost my shit completely when I stepped on to those sets.
Imagine.
I was in awe. And the people that are there, they understand the gravity of it, but they're doing it every day.
Right.
So when an actor comes on and behaves the way that I did, which was literally, you know, you guys all do the Comic-Cons. You see these little kids when they see somebody, you know, a cosplayer who's done an amazing job, and they're in like an Optimus, that, you know, and that was me walking around that set, because a lot of it was a practical set of the ship that I was commanding. So, you know, with dead stormtroopers all over the place. It was incredible. Incredible.
It was. That's the clip I decided to promote you on with when you opened the latch. Thought it was great. Your face was so funny. Oh, it was such a good job too, man.
And that was weird too, because Giancarlo and I, Esposito and I, are really old friends. And Grand Moff Tarkin, I don't believe he had made an appearance yet. So that was really funny to act to, you know, the hologram, or really just the recording of his voice.
Right.
It was wild.
Not to interrupt, but my mom's freaking out. I didn't tell her you were going to be on because she's a huge fan. And
Hey, Ma.
Look at her. She's like, "Are you serious? I love him. I saw his series." Is that Bosch? Oh, that's so funny. But there you go, Mom. You got a shout out.
Love you, Mom. We love all moms. You make the world go round.
Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, that's funny. We got a lot of people in here shouting you out. Love Bosch. Love Titus and Jimmy from SOA.
Oh, you were great in that.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, how was your experience working on Titans? Because I gotta say, you absolutely killed the Lex Luther role.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That was a great experience. When I got the call about that, it was the same kind of thing. Hey, my manager calls me up. Hey, I know your fanboy thing. I know your whole deal. So this thing has come up, and you're being offered this role. And I said, well, just tell me what it is. He said, it's I'm sure you know who it is, Lex Luther. I screamed on the phone like somebody hit me with a cattle prod. I was like, what? Wait, what? I go, what is it, an animated thing? I don't care, I'll do it. He went, no, it's on Titans. And I was a fan of the show. So I completely lost it. I had a great conversation with the producers and the writers. Actually, I was sitting in my library, and they started asking me questions about, you know, stuff. So I finally just turned the camera around, and I just started going like down each bookshelf, and it was like, you know, it's DC Omnibus, and they were like, okay. And I said, any questions? They were great. The cast were amazing, really, really cool people. That show should have run forever and ever and ever. I just thought it scratched every itch.
Yeah,
It was really good.
It was really well written. It was well acted. You know, the potential for that show like I always say, when you get into that world, there's so much material to source from, and everybody's got their favorite periods of different characters in the comic book universes. But yeah, that's just one of those things that broke my heart. But I had a blast. It was almost a 3-hour makeup process.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, I asked about that.
I knew it was a one-off. They had only been granted permission to use the Luther character for one episode. So, but that being said, everybody was sort of like, yeah, but you could come back because, I went, yeah, he's got clones and this and that. I was like, how do we even know it's the real Lex Luthor? I mean, it could be a million different things. So that was a gas. The makeup was a bit of, they were a brilliant makeup artist that did it, but I'd be lying if I said, 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, sitting in a makeup chair, trying to be still. But
you looked the part too. The part looked great. The acting, you looked the part. It was really good. When you came on screen, I was like, oh, like it gave you that wow factor, right? But it came out good, man.
It was fun, and they gave me a lot of license with the character. We had a whole conversation. I didn't just show up and start making stuff up on the fly, but and those sets are so incredible. That all you got to do is just kind of walk in there and you're in the world. I was in the Batcave set, and I stood there for they had to come and pull me out. They were like, well, they were repurposing, they redressed and repurposed the Batcave set as that temple that Luthor goes to at the end of that episode.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
But still, the scale of that thing, it's legit. It's legit. It's a soundstage. So, I lost my mind.
That's really cool. Miguel mentioned earlier, like, you've done some of the greatest IPs out there. Obviously, DC, Star Wars, Transformers. Does that mean there's potential Marvel down the road mix? It seems like that's like the last thing on your list.
I did a
Marvel one shot.
Yeah, item 37 that Louis D'Esposito directed, and then I recurred on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show as that character.
You did.
Which was a lot of fun. Yeah, Deathlock hurt me, man. He like threw me through a wall and broke my spine. And then they made me kind of sort of bionic. They repaired him. But that had sort of turned my character from being a good guy. He was never one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. dudes that was a Hydra, Hydra undercover.
Okay.
Right.
He was S.H.I.E.L.D. through and through. But when he got injured, his head got hit a little too hard, and there was a dark side. And there were plans to continue that, but then alas, the show. Look, they had a good run. They had several seasons, and I thought the show was great. But I would certainly love to dance back into the Marvel universe. It's tough when you get older, right? If you'd asked me 10, 15 years ago, who do you want to play? I would say, Kraven the Hunter.
Oh,
but
that'd be cool.
But my man is playing him, and I've seen the some of the stolen photographs, and he looks great, Aaron.
He does.
He'll shred it. He'll shred it. So no love lost there. Although
how about now? Who would you pick now? Somebody said Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
that was good.
Well, what's funny? Roger Corman did. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it. I had to dig around and get it on eBay. Somebody had pirated it. But Roger Corman did a Fantastic Four movie in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was down to the wire between me and Joseph Culp to play Dr. Doom. And and Joe Culp ended up playing the part. He did a great job. It's the much maligned movie, but I'm happy that that they're going to take another stab at it, because I feel like when you in the total universe of Marvel, right? Probably Fantastic Four, they journeyed out of bounds further than any of the other heroes for the most part. True. Excluding like Warlock, and when they started to bring all that stuff. And I love that world, man. Galactus, the Surfer, the Surfer is my favorite.
Oh, hold on. Let me put you on full screen. Hold on. Let me put you on full screen. I want to see this. Right.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's can't help myself.
Yeah, you would kill it as Doctor Doom.
I'd love to.
That'd be cool.
You got the voice.
I told Miguel earlier, I don't know why, but because they're bringing in X-Men, I think you'd be a great striker, like in charge of the whole Weapon X program. I think that'd be great.
Ooh.
Striker's awesome.
Mhm.
All right, well, I hope somebody from Marvel is listening because you heard that.
Evan, are you listening?
We'll clip this, Marvel. We'll
Yeah,
clip
right.
this. Marvel, I hope you're listening.
These
we
are
got
serious
some friends
people.
We got some friends at Marvel Studios. I could probably pass the word on, see what happens.
Look, man, let's have a seance and get Stan Lee on the candle, man.
Oh,
It's not the Ouija board. Let's do this.
Right?
But yeah, dude, that would be cool to see you in a major role with Marvel, and one of those. Doom would be cool too. I didn't think of that one. Doom would be cool. Striker would be cool. There's a couple other people.
I don't know. I always picture Titus as Johnny Blaze,
Oh,
the Ghost Rider.
wow.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
I think he rocked the shit out of that one. Yeah.
Maybe I should
Well,
mock
thank you,
something
man.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I'll mock up Titus as all different characters, and then I'll submit it. We'll see.
Yo, for real, right?
That's crazy.
That would be good. Ghost Rider too. Oh man, we could be here all day with this one. This is
yeah.
I love Ghost
we're about
Rider,
to
man.
fan cast you on every.
And,
I see him as a good Cable too.
Cable, I love Cable. He did a great job, but Josh was awesome as Cable. But I don't know if you guys remember when Ghost Rider first came out. It was in a funny period, but Plug drew it, and so it was cool. But it was one of those. It was kind of clunky because it was weird, and they were delving into a lot of sort of abstract stuff. They had the Son of Satan. And so they were trying to do monsters. So they went, and they did a great job with Dracula. But I loved Plug from, him drawing Man Thing, and he drew the Planet of the Apes original comic series that was part of the Planet of the Apes magazine, which was killer. They're finally starting to put that stuff out in I think it's IDW is doing them hardbound, and it's killer stuff. But I love Ghost Rider. I thought the Ghost Rider iteration on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was very cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the most accurate for me. But
yeah,
I'm anxious to see what they're going to do because they're doing it again.
Dude, that's exciting. Marvel, you got a lot of work here to do here.
For real.
Right.
We're gonna utilize Titus.
I know, right? You guys got to make it happen.
And the internet.
Know this dream was happening, and ironically, I was just watching The Town. Great performance. This is awesome. Cool. We got somebody watching you right now. What were you gonna say, Sean?
I was just saying the internet always loves when an actor comes in to the universe and they're a fan beforehand.
Oh yeah,
people, sure. The fandom community always welcomes. I can't remember her name, but the woman who plays Ms. Marvel is like a hardcore Marvel fan. Like I think she's got a few stories when she even corrected Kevin Feige on like a few details of things, and that people always love to see that.
Well, yeah, because it's heartbreaking when it's the other thing. When because I've been in those conversations, because people, they get in my business, they get weird. They're like, I don't want to see one more superhero movie, and I'm like, well, you don't have to. That means there's more popcorn and more seats for me and my friends. So you don't have to go. And look, they've elevated that genre to high art as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
And it's either you get it or you don't get it. I suppose it's like anything else, right? People like spinach or they don't like spinach. You don't like it, don't eat it. Don't look at it. But don't spoil it for me because I like me some spinach.
You hear people say how the Marvel movies aren't cinema and whatnot. I don't see how that's true. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Nah.
The amount of work that goes into all these movies, you can't just broad brush it and go, oh, it's just comics.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't work at all. You can't. I mean, I can accept the argument that he presents, right? Because I'm a big purist too, but that doesn't detract at all from what you're seeing. It takes an enormous amount of effort a hell of a lot of people, more people than it does to make a standard film, and they're all individual artists in their own. So I think it's like you said, to paint something with a broad brush, it's just it's ignorant.
It is,
you know,
because there's room for movies like On the Waterfront and a Spider-Man movie. Why not?
Of course,
we all have different tastes. I feel like something more black and white and traditional. Give me a Brando or something. Rod Steiger.
Sure.
Or I feel like a little action. Give me Thor 3. Let's have some fun Ragnarok in there.
I totally agree. Right? There's times where you sit. It all depends on where your brain is. Sometimes you just want to have a quasi academic experience. You're sitting in your house and you watch something like, I don't know, Lawrence of Arabia. Then there's other nights when I go, no, you know what? I'm going to watch reruns of the original G.I. Joe American Hero cartoon. Why? Because I enjoy it. So that's like, sometimes my brain doesn't want to work that hard.
That's the best answer right there.
It's content.
Listen, I would love to see you playing a Marvel role. So Marvel needs to get their shit together. We'll send that to them so that way they can know. But I do got a question. Batman, Ben Affleck. So I feel like through me looking at the stuff that you've done, you've pretty much been in almost every single thing that he's directed. Has that been because of a friendship? Is that because of maybe a role you played once and then he just keeps calling you back? Like how's that been? I mean, he's really talented, obviously, and you played some good roles with him too. But are you friends with the Batman, Ben Affleck?
I am friends with him, but the way that we met was through me auditioning for him for Gone Baby Gone.
Gone Baby Gone, yeah.
And then we did The Town, and then I did Argo, and then
great movie.
I got when I started doing Bosch, that sort of kept me unavailable. So a lot of stuff that was coming along, Live by Night. I went in and worked a day, and the scenes that I shot were part of a montage thing. But yeah, we're friends. We're good friends and colleagues, and the experience of working with him, I have to say, pound for pound, he's probably the most prepared director, if not one of the most, certainly, directors I've ever worked with. He knows every single, he's got the storyboards. It's all in his head, and yet he knows exactly where he wants the camera to be. He kind of stays out of your way as an actor unless he's got a direction that he wants something. He wants to try something. He's a kind and generous soul, and he's a great filmmaker.
For sure.
I saw the first pass of Gone Baby Gone in his office, and this was ages before it was ever released. And I remember my mouth just kind of hung open from the beginning to the end of the film. And I was with my then late wife watching it in his office. And when it was over, she just went, wow. And I went, because my late wife was a film producer. And I said, that feels like a film of a director that's made 25 movies, who's been directing forever and ever and ever and ever. It was just that good. It was that specific and that well realized. And that's not always the case.
And that was his first?
That was his first, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then he got to go and do The Town and still have the integrity of a great story. But there was a lot more money in the budget for The Town, and they've grown, But I don't know if you guys saw Air, his Nike film. I loved that film. It was a much smaller.
It was great.
Smaller scope film, but it was a beautiful story. It was really moving and beautifully acted by everybody involved.
Very well done.
He's a great filmmaker, and aside from being a really great actor, I mean, I love Michael Keaton. That's my favorite. That's also my favorite bat suit. And I love Keaton, but I have to say, I really love Ben's Batman best of all. I feel like all the Batfleck, man. all of that anger, all
I'm
that
right there
nuance.
with you.
And he's such a physical specimen, Ben, that he can do all that stuff. And I find I think those movies are thrilling. I love Man of Steel. I love Batman v Superman. Wonder. I think they're great. I think they're really
did
good.
a great job on those.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's awesome, though. I mean, that's a good friend to have, right? I mean, yeah, that's really cool. Now we talked a little bit about some of your other roles, but I want to touch on Bosch a little bit because obviously Bosch has been super popular, and I'm kind of curious because Bosch came out kind of when Amazon started as like a, aside from being the Amazon store, now it has the Amazon app and the streaming service and all that. Yeah. And now you get this call to be on Bosch, and this was back in what, 2013, 2014?
That's 10 years ago. Yeah, 10
years ago, right? So now, you're taking a chance going on something new, right? Like the world's kind of just changing as far as TV goes, right? And now fast forward to today, and everybody loves Bosch. My mom's asking if there's like another season coming out. Like she's, you get a lot of people who love the character. He's almost like a vigilante type character. He has a sense of humor. He's action packed. I mean, phenomenal job, obviously, playing that character.
Thank you.
But when this role approached you, and of course, with the chance of it possibly not doing anything because Amazon was fairly new, did that worry you at any time, or did you say this is going to be something big aside from the show to carry Amazon? And Amazon had their stuff pretty done when it came out. They had other things too, but you guys were kind of like the drama series for them. But tell me a little bit about how you started that role and some of your worries going into it, and now how successful it's been.
Well, that thing came across my desk. I had written a TV pilot for myself. My late wife had passed away. I was a single father with a 6-year-old child, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to make a living because I travel a lot, and create, a positive, grounded home life for my child. I didn't want her to be like a cinema gypsy with me, just traveling from set to set, being tutored by on-set school teachers and things like that. And so I had written a pilot for myself that took place in New York because I figured I can anchor there. I'll go back home to New York finally. And lo and behold, it was days before I was going to go and pitch this, and I got the Bosch script, and through a series of I loved it. I mean, I blew through that script in no time. And I had read one of the Michael Connelly books many years before, so I remembered it, but it was still. I don't think the gravity of it completely, penetrated my thick skull. And so after I was cast, that question kind of arose immediately. Oh, is there anything daunting about, this is a huge, iconic literary character, genre specific.
Known, yeah.
And I'll be honest, and not because I'm the bravest tiger on the planet, but I just sort of looked at it and went, you know what, this is really beautifully written. I couldn't write a better character for myself. The source material of Michael's books is endless. He writes a book every year, sometimes 2 books a year. So he's super prolific. And I knew when we were shooting the pilot, just because the nature of the script and the other actors that have been cast, that it was definitely something that was special. And I felt that as standing there as a presence. And it was, right? It was the brave new world, it was where, they put it out there and people voted. Hey, did you like this? And they voted. But we were the flagship, 1-hour drama for Amazon. And in the beginning, even people that I knew, my younger brother included, who had read all the books, he's a diehard fan. When I told him I was cast, he was like, "Really? Yeah, I don't get that."
Very supportive.
Yeah. And, and I was sort of, because the thing is that Bosch isn't really physically described that much in the books. He's described, because he was a tunnel rat, as being kind of wiry, and based on how motivated I am in between seasons, I can be wiry or I can be beefy, but such is life, right? And so I just kind of took that, I pushed it out of the way and just went, I'm gonna do this right, wrong, or indifferent, because I knew all I had to really do was to stay true to the core of the character that's in the books, and that's why people love those books, and that's why they love the show, because you can't help but love Harry. He's the quintessential anti-hero.
Yes, he is.
Perfect.
He's kind of like he's like the Punisher, but he's not as vindictive. He's not totally the avenging angel. Like and he's clean. He's got a good moral compass, right? He's never gonna plant evidence on somebody or beat the shit out of somebody to get a confession. But he'll get them because he's relentless. And so that's why I think people connect and identify, and makes that character accessible. And 10 years and God willing, we'll be continue to do this. We now have a spin-off from the character Renee Ballard from the Late Show. She's a female LAPD homicide cop, and she and Harry cross paths in the Bosch universe. And so Maggie Q, the great Maggie Q, has been cast to play Renee Ballard, and we've introduced her in the 10th episode of this season that we just finished shooting. And I can tell you right now, she hits every note with that character. I'm excited for it to come out, because I think people are going to go crazy, and they start shooting that in July. So we'll go on rotation. I'll go over there and do some pop-up duties on that. But I told her, she was like, "Any words of advice?" I said, "Get ready." That's all I'm saying.
That's awesome.
It's so funny because right now you can't even read the books without picturing your face there.
Yeah, exactly.
My face is my warrant.
I'll tell you a funny story about that really quickly, sidebar. So I improvised that line based on an experience years ago. I was at a concert. Jack Nicholson was there, and in between sets, they had a little VIP exterior area where people were going out. This is when everybody still smoked, to smoke cigarettes and joints and what have you. And you all had your backstage pass things on the lanyard, right? So as everybody's filing back in, they flick the lights. The two burly security guys go, "You must have your, you've got to have your badge out. Have your badge out. You won't be readmitted if you don't have your badge. It doesn't matter who you are." So everybody's, like putting them on their foreheads to get back into the show. And I'm walking up with Jack, and the guy goes, "Sir, where's your badge?" And Jack just looks at him and he goes, "My face is my badge." And just walks the fuck by.
Yo,
that was spot on.
Wait, time out. Now I'm gonna go to another side quest. Now we're going on side quest, but so you just did an amazing Jack Nicholson, and I've noticed that you like to do a lot of impressions, and you do a couple good ones.
Oh no, yeah.
No, there's no running away from that after that.
Titus, you have to show them you're Christopher Walken.
Yes, there's Christopher Walken, there's Al Pacino. At least give us one.
I just worked with Al Pacino. I did a movie that's coming out probably in the fall, Killing Castro. It's all about the Fidel Castro coming in the 60s and meeting up with Malcolm X. So I had a great scene with Pacino, which was bucket list dream come true. And he's every bit as amazing and brilliant and lovely as, when you meet your heroes and they're the guys that you want them to be, that's the big payoff. He was, it was extraordinary. It took me a minute for my blown mind to process the fact that I was sitting in a scene, just the two of us, and that was amazing. And he was great. He was great.
So you got to give us some Pacino now. Well, come on.
I love you guys. You're gonna tee it up for me, right? So
come on, hoo-ah. Give it.
Yeah. So actually, no. So we were sitting there, and taken out of context, it's not like when you're doing an impression of him from a film or something. It's just, it's conversational. So we're sitting there because Al had a show on Amazon, the Hunters, where he was a Nazi hunter.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So we were sort of talking about, the fact that we really appreciated that Amazon was very hands off. They kind of delegated the creative stuff to the creative people, and it made it so. And he says, yeah, well, I mean, we did a couple of seasons of Hunter, but it's not like your show's been running for like 30 fucking years. And I was like, well, it's gonna be 10. I mean,
Great. That was pretty good, man.
He was like, wow, that's a long time. And I was like, well, I was like, dude, what are you gonna do, man? Like,
that's pretty cool, man.
Got children in college tuition, May it run another 10 years.
Yeah.
Speaking of, as a fan watching Bosch, I've been looking with interviews with you and the producers and everyone to see if there's a connection here that or maybe it's just me drawing it in my own head, but I see a good amount of influence of Sherlock Holmes in either the way it's written or the way you play it, because, and again, I see a lot of, with your eyes, there's always observing. There's never a moment I see where, like other characters will be talking conversationally, staring at the space. You're in like an animalistic way, almost scanning the horizon. The things your character picks up on in the show. Is there any of that Sherlock Holmes influence of like the power of observation? Obviously, as a or cop, now PI. Is there anything there, or am I connecting dots that don't exist?
No, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I read the books, the Sherlock Holmes books when I was a kid, and loved the Basil Rathbone films, and I even loved the crazy movie They Might Be Giants, right, with George C. Scott, when he thinks he's Sherlock Holmes, but he's crazy, and the ones with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. I mean, great stuff. I think, but in direct answer, is no, as far as the Sherlock Holmes thing.
Okay.
But I've spent a lot of time around robbery homicide detectives, and there are some of them that even when they're not working, seem to always be in a state of observation. And so that was something that I wanted to, and I think Michael creates that a lot in the books. But the thing is that when you're reading a book, the narrative is telling you what you're seeing and what he's thinking. Mm-hmm. And so the tricky part of that translation to film, and believe me, I mean, the writers and the producers loved the idea. I don't know that Amazon was thrilled. I really like the scenes where he's alone in his house and he's looking over case files, and there's no dialogue. There's no voiceover to say, I was on my 10th cigarette and 4th scotch when I realized that there was a bruise in the upper right temporal lobe. And,
right.
And you have to sort of portray that stuff in that thought process by being really still. And so that, for me, was just sort of a conscious effort. But in order to do that and to have it work, you have to actually really be observing something. So it's not like I can, otherwise it's like I call it the bad blind acting of movies of the week of the 70s, right? Where, blind characters were always doing this. like they were searching for a jar of peanut butter in the dark. It's like, that's not blind people. That sort of odd physical pathology is so poorly attached to blind people, as I know many blind people, and they get around better than people with sight, just because their senses are so more highly attuned. I remember my brother used to he went to a school in Philadelphia, Friend Central. He was a wrestler, and they used to wrestle against the Haverford School for the Blind, and nobody could touch them because these guys were like Daredevil.
I've heard that. Yeah,
they felt the movement, and guys couldn't get around them. They were dangerous. So you asked me what time it is. I just told you how to make a watch. And that's my answer to your.
No, appreciate it.
That was good, man. Listen, so before we get into collecting, because now I want to get into that, I do want to ask some questions that the audience asked. P-Rock, who's usually on the show, he asked if you were able to keep the Star Wars suit.
No, I wish. But I also didn't push it. I suppose if I'd said, hey, could I keep the hat? They probably, but I think I was so kind of in a state of shock the entire time I was working on that.
Right.
That none of the normal things like, hey, I'd like to have a little keepsake or something because I usually do that. I like to keep something of a character if it's a character that I really like. But alas, I did not.
Nothing, not even the gun.
No, nothing. I got nothing. I got a crew sweatshirt, which is very cool.
There you go. That's
I'll make you the gun.
Sweet.
There we go.
A guy offered me $1,000 on the street. He offered me $1,000 for the crew sweatshirt.
Wow.
Wow.
And I was like, no, dude. You know what? Some things are just not for sale. And he was like, that's a cheap sweatshirt. He's like, it's probably like it's like a $25 retail, maybe. And I go, yeah, you don't get it. No, I don't want it. I said, so you can try to sell it on eBay. I suppose you got a Sharpie in your pocket, and I'll sign it on the back. And I just was like, no, man. Go away. That's literally the only piece of crew wear that I can wear because it's it's got Grogu, man, and it's the Mandalorian. I can't go around rocking Bosch hats or something. I look like a total tool. Can you imagine?
That's funny. We have Sally here asked, any directing in your future?
Yes. That's all I can say.
Ooh, that's all you can say. Okay.
Don't know when, don't know where, but absolutely yes. Unequivocally yes.
Hey, if you need any extras, let me know. You could kill me off. All right, so let's get to some collecting now. You said real quick. I just want to give a shout out. Let me see if I don't mess this up for once. Oh, okay. I just want to give a shout out to Hogwarts Collectibles. Boom.
Ooh. Hey. Oh, wow.
Ray got me a Mr. J that I've been looking for. And since we have
what? Oh, come on.
Ooh, that's nice.
We have Rocco on real quick.
What?
So that's one of the portraits. This is the other one.
Oh, okay. That's insane.
That's really good.
Hold on. Is my camera focusing? Come on.
There you go.
Usually you do pretty good. There you go.
I always wondered how they did that effect because it was like skin makeup under the white paint that has to wash off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are phenomenal.
That's cool.
But that's not bad. This is from Mars, so it's not like really like a license piece, but it came out pretty good.
It's great.
And he gave me a crazy great deal, and it comes with like the hat and all that stuff. But I love this. This when I opened it, this was my favorite. Look at this.
That's great.
But,
the box art is amazing.
Yeah, but shout out to Ray for hooking that up because he caught me off guard, and I was like, "Oh man, thank you so much." But he's the man for that.
Well done, Ray. Well done.
Yeah, let's get into some collecting. So I sent Josh some pictures.
Well, this is collecting related. Can I pull something up and ask Titus something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to use this as an example just for Aaron. Let me see if I can pull it up.
For Aaron?
Yeah, just for Aaron. Where'd it go? So there is obviously a lot of collectibles when it comes to projects you've been in. I don't know if you're familiar with like Prime One Studios, who makes amazing Transformer pieces.
Yeah.
But this is particularly from your film. Are there any films that you've been in that you've seen collectibles like this that you want to obtain, you just haven't got a chance to do it yet?
Yeah, that Grimlock just kind of took me out. 3-0 did an amazing Optimus.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
If P-Rock was here, he would have been like, yes, I love 3-0.
and I love Super 7 too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Super 7 too. Yeah.
But that Grimlock is insane.
It's huge too. That's a statue. So that's how big is that?
That's breathtaking.
Yeah, that's what is that?
I was supposed to be in that sequence. I was supposed to just show up and be driving around in the sequence with Grimlock. But I was cast in Bosch, and so Michael Bay very gracefully let me out of that scene. It didn't really propel the story with Savoy anyway. So I was happy to, but that's incredible. Because of course, when you're doing the films, it's just a giant PVC pole with a head.
Yeah.
And then there's tennis balls that mark the area where the things work walking, so you know where you're looking when they're going by. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, but this thing's huge. This is like, I don't know if it's 1/3. I can't remember how big this one is, but it's a couple grand to get this piece. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, that's money well spent though. That looks incredible.
Like, yeah. I sent Josh some pictures too. So this is your collection. Just so we can see some of the things that you have.
Sorry, I'm skipping over some stuff that
It's okay.
from.
What's just gonna be the last stuff I sent you?
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Do you have a certain specialty or focus in what you collect, Titus? Anything?
I'm kind of all over the place. I mean, I'm DC Direct, Hot Toys, 3-0, Super 7. My first and go-to, which really pushed me over the edge, was Sideshow, and I initially started collecting their stuff all the way back at the very beginning. The Doc Holliday, the Heroes of World War One, and
oh wow, look at that.
And then there you go. Yeah, that's a lot of side, and that's of course a very treasured possession of mine, a statue that Rocco did.
Rocco did that one. Can you blow it up a little bit? I don't know if you can or not. You probably can't.
I can't on this.
I have it on my computer too, if you want to see it in digital.
He gave one to Michael Connolly as well, who loves that. It's
that's
cherished.
Cool.
It's really
if you have it, Rocco, I can pull it up.
Yeah, that was cool.
Very
Rocco,
cool.
you got the detail of the couple of the bracelets on there. That's nice.
Yeah. No, he nailed it. He completely nailed it.
Yeah.
Let's I'm gonna pull up what Rocco has there. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See. Yeah, that's a whole
Oh, wow.
another level.
Thank you. From Hawaii? Is this from Hawaii? We got somebody watching from Hawaii. Let's go.
The bracelet, the gun.
So cool. And now I've got twice as many tattoos. That's from season 1.
Yeah, I didn't put any of the tattoos on this.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody asked if that was a Buck Rogers fighter.
It is. It's a Corgi Buck Rogers fighter. It is. Good eye. Good catch.
Then I got this surprise for you, Titus.
Oh, what? Oh, my God.
I didn't give you any stuff from the set, but we could get this one to you.
Oh, my God. Rocco, that is killer.
And he's got a little surprise in the back. He's got that going.
That's awesome, dude. You are the man, Rocco.
That does look really good.
That's insane. That is insane.
And it fits in with all the Gentle Giant stuff too. I did it on the same day.
Well, Gentle Giant also. I have a lot of theirs. A lot. I have the. I collected the. The scanned 3 3/4 to 12-inch figures. But let me tell you, they take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Those 12, because they're in those blister packs.
Yeah.
Alone that are like the size of half the coffee table. But Gentle Giant, you've done a bunch of stuff for them, yeah, Rocco?
Yeah, because Diamond bought Gentle Giant, so I ended up getting the privilege to finally start working on all the Star Wars stuff and a lot of the L3Ds and what have you. I have over here. I got a Bo Katan that I did.
Nice.
Cool.
in the scene with you.
That's on my list to review. I got it right there. I'm looking at it. That's cool.
I could come on if you wanted to do a review.
Oh, I might take you up on that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Somebody said, Mike just said, I actually missed meeting Michael Conley when he went to visit in a USO tour.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I know. I got to get back on the circuit. COVID kind of put the kibosh on a lot of that stuff, obviously, and Comic-Con. So it's all starting to come back now, which is great.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to meet you at a con too. So that'd be cool.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Let's get to this. Is cool. So what are we doing? Are we making this, Rocco? What are we doing?
This actually, I had proposed this over to Diamond. So
do I need to hit up Chuck and be like, yo, what are you doing?
Maybe. I mean, I'm going to send this over to him too. I just got around to finishing it today.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, gotcha.
So I had roughed them out a while ago. It was during the whole COVID thing, and I know everybody held back on production, so it kind of got lost in the mix. And I was gonna come actually to LA and visit you on set at the same time.
Well, you come back next time. We'll go back into production in January.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm gonna be there then, and I don't want to miss it.
No, definitely.
Definitely
not.
Cool. Well, hopefully they do it. I think it looks cool, and their mini busts like that are doing really good. So I'm sure he'll want to see that. Let's move into some of these. So right now we're gonna show you some of the new releases that came out. 4 different brands of statues and figures and stuff. So we're gonna start with Sideshow. They just came out and they just released a Captain Rex statue.
Yes.
And this is
saw this
cool.
on the site. It's insane.
This looks great. Yeah.
It has a light up feature. And this is one of their premium formats, right, Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Premium formats.
And they're massive.
What is that, quarter scale?
Premium formats are huge.
Yeah, this is quarter scale.
Yep.
Oh, very nice.
And there is the video, so you guys can kind of see the light up feature. I have a soft spot for light up features. I mean, this looks great, and the sculpt looks good too. Now, people were a little upset about the price because it almost hit $1,000, and usually for premium formats, they're not that highly priced. But you got to consider the light up feature and how things are starting to happen now. But
ever since the light up on that Mark 7, Sideshow just kills it with the light ups now.
And the truth of the matter is that if people actually went into the studios of the artists that are making these things, like, for instance, we go in and watch Rocco go through all the work that they go through. I mean, I love when I go to Sideshow, I always go through everybody's little cubicles and I watch the painters and the sculpt. I mean, it takes an extraordinary amount of work. These things are not cheap. You're not going to walk into a Target or your favorite store down the street and find something that's of that quality. I mean, those things they're extraordinary.
Yeah, endless hours going to building these things, and I appreciate it too that you notice all the work that goes into it.
Oh, it's incredible the amount of work. It's that's why they're great. Put it that way. Somebody didn't just slap that together, right? That's not some kit bashed Fisher Price thing.
No, nah. I like it though. It's a really good piece. What did you think of that piece, Anthony?
I thought it was a great piece. I'm considering it, even though I don't collect any Star Wars pieces. But Captain Rex has been a favorite of the Clone Wars storyline.
Yeah,
I think the price is fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
And it's pretty tall.
There,
altogether, it's 27 inches tall. So you figure,
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah,
it is.
You need to find a space for it. I love the pose on it. It's got a lot of action,
Yeah.
I love that.
I suppose you don't really see that often.
A lot of movement.
Yeah.
It's not the typical it looks like it's taken off.
Yeah,
it's doing good. I like it. I think it looks good. We're gonna show this one sold out underneath 24 hours. This is from PCS. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is a 1-to-1, so this is life size. Titus.
Wow.
This is the size of a manhole cover. Obviously, back from the '90s movies, you got all the turtles here. That's their little can compared to it. But as we go through the pictures, now this is the platinum version. It comes with the little with the canister.
That's so cool,
right? But this thing came out good. Now this was around $2,000, a little bit over $2,000, right?
Like 20, almost 2,300.
2,300 sold out under 24 hours.
Really?
Sure.
But this looks cool. As we go through the pictures, I will show you some of the. This is the like extra accessory if you get the platinum version, and there's the turtles. Look at that.
I wonder what the weight is on something like that.
Right, that's got to be nuts. What is that even? What is the? Is that like poly resin or something? It's got to weigh.
It's an actual manhole cover.
Yeah, it's a man. It's the size of a manhole cover.
Real manhole cover.
41 inches or something like that. I can't remember how big it is, but they're saying they're going to come out with a quarter scale too. So.
Shipping is $10,000.
Wow.
But this came out good. I really wanted this. My concern was, where am I going to put it, right?
How do you display this? It's very
I would display it on the floor. There's no other place.
Underneath your dining room table.
That would be good. But I took too long to decide, and they sold out on me. So I'm going to be looking for the quarter scale one. But they did such a great job with this. The brothers did this one, the Kershak brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They're great. I love their work.
They're so good. They're awesome. But this is so good. Titus, what do you think of this one?
I think it's cool. One of my classmates from NYU was Leonardo. He didn't do the voice, but he's the actor inside of the suit.
Oh wow!
Oh nice.
Doing all the stuff. Yeah, I love the turtles. I remember, back in the early '80s when that's first started hitting it, and I would go over to Forbidden Planet in New York.
Oh
man!
Great store.
They were really cheap. It looked like they were printed on like photocopy paper. the original stuff. They were kind of underground, but I love the turtles. I like the flicks. I like the last one that came out. I thought it was really entertaining.
The cartoon one.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
The new one, I think it was funny. I think they had really a lot of good moments with the younger voices and stuff. I think it was really good.
That was the one Seth Rogen did, right?
Yeah.
He was either Bebop or Rocksteady, wasn't he?
That's an amazing piece. But where do you put that in the center of your dining room table? You have
to play Vanilla Ice when you got to go in the strobe lights. Go ninja.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's one part of the '80s I would like to '90s. Definitely want to forget that dude.
Well, listen, I love this. Is there more pictures to this one or no?
This is the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Titus, I was going to ask you, who's got the better comic shops, West Coast or East Coast?
Oh,
East Coast.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
I got another question. This is gonna make or break our friendship right now. Hold on. Let me remove this real quick.
No, I think I know what you're gonna ask.
No, I'm not gonna ask that question, please. I'm not gonna.
This is gonna be what's my favorite tasty cake, or who makes the best?
Oh, that's a good one, but no, I'm not gonna ask that because then there's like fighting words there. But hold on. So,
I know what you're about to ask.
No, I'm not going to ask that one. Everybody wants me to ask you Michael Jackson or Prince. I'm not going to ask this. It's been an ongoing argument on the show.
You kind of just did.
Prince.
Prince.
Oh, yes.
That is not the question I'm going to ask. But now that we went there, my question is: you've been in Boston, you've been in New York, and you've been in Philadelphia for most of your life, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Whose baseball team do you like? What team do you go with?
Well, when I was a kid with my brothers, they were such rabid Yankees fans that just to be contrary, I rooted for the Red Sox. Ooh. But the problem is that when you make a statement like that, you have to stick with it. So I stayed a Red Sox fan throughout the years when things weren't going so great. But that being said, I'm the kind of sports fan. Look, these are my teams: basketball, Celtics, Sixers, and the Knicks and the Bucks and the Lakers. But I mean, I like specific teams, but I like the sport of bat. That's my favorite sport to watch.
Nice.
I can't play it a lick. Hockey would definitely be the Flyers and the Bruins. Although, wasn't didn't end up in our way for the Bruins. I used to be a big Patriots fan, but definitely Eagles. Let's see what happens this year, since everything crashed and burned. Football, but also football, kind of all over the place. So I'm loyal in that way. But I don't lose. I don't. If the Sixers were playing the Knicks or the Sixers were playing the Celtics, I'll be happy with whoever wins on either side. I'm not going to lose my mind if one or the other wins. So, and that's not. I'm not trying to be Switzerland or Sweden with my answer.
Nah, you're good. You're good. Hold on. What did this guy? Jason, man, I thought Miguel was in Florida with them colors. Hello there, Miguel. Always brings the utmost quality and genuine people together. Always wanted to thank Mr. Welliver for giving us your time. Oh, thank you, bro. 16 Salvo.
Thank you.
Redeemer saying that. That's right. Shout out to Fatal. Fatal's birthday's today, and he bought that Ninja Turtles statue. And it's funny. He said after he said he was retiring. Or not retiring, cutting down on collecting, and then he went and bought this big thing. But,
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out to Fatal. Real quick, so this is a tease from PCS2. This is the we adding this? Yes. Adding. Remove. Add. There you go. This is the Planet Hawk bust. So this is like the Maximum Carnage one that they did, but it's with obviously the Incredible Hulk. And it has a sort of diorama on the side of the head. I don't know if that's probably hard to see from your phone, Titus, but this is just a mock-up, but this is something that they're going to be producing soon. I thought this was a cool one too.
That's insane.
Awesome.
Wow. Is that life size?
Yep.
Oh, very cool.
That's going to be huge.
And then I'm trying to send more stuff, but it's taking a little bit. I'm not sure why. Let's see. I might have to send them to you through Instagram, Josh. I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'm only sending like one picture, and it's taking like 10 minutes to send to you.
Do they give any credit to the artist for this one? Because I know there's an Instagram account I follow, Tentacles and Teeth, who does a lot of Rocco. I don't know if you know him at all. He does a lot of like 2D concept stuff for Sideshow and a bunch of other companies.
I think the Kirk brothers designed this one.
Yeah, it's the same brothers did that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a crazy piece. I saw this.
So this is X23 from Sideshow. This is one of their newest pieces that came out.
Is this like the same size as the Wolverine they just put out? The one it's almost like 1/3.
No, it's not 1/3.
No, I think it's gonna be a PF.
Yeah, that's premium format. So it's gonna be like a quarter scale. So this was teased, so you don't really see a lot of pictures with it yet. These are the only 2 pictures that have come out, but this is something new. I'm always about, them doing some new things. I know there wasn't too many people a fan of it, but
really,
like I said, yeah, just because I don't know. I guess because they've done like it's kind of hard to come out with something after Danielle Bell just dropped that bomb of a Batgirl because she was phenomenal, right? Yeah. So when you look at that and then look at this, they're like, you know what I mean? But I think this one still came out good. And for a character that we don't see a lot of, I'm not complaining. Especially X23.
I think it's great. I think it's very cool.
I think it looks good.
I saw it on the site the other day, and I had to like pinch it up large. I thought it's really cool.
I think they should have waited a little closer to Deadpool and Wolverine to put this out, though. It would have been great to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
I think when the movie comes out, they'll do the full reveal, and that's when we'll find out that maybe there's an unmasked portrait to go with it. And I think then we'll get a better buzz from the crowd.
I haven't seen a lot of merchandise for the Deadpool movie.
Have y'all seen the popcorn bucket?
Yeah, I was gonna say they have that bucket, the bucket.
I was working on a Deadpool piece. I was trying to pitch it, and nobody's biting. It was weird.
There we go.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really? Well, the bucket seems to be super popular, so I thought that was.
Yeah, the only one I've seen is the one that Iron Studios is putting out.
Oh yeah,
Iron Studios does great stuff.
yeah. We're gonna get to some of their stuff too. So this one, what's this? Oh, the
Popcorn
bucket. This is the bucket. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've seen this in Rocco. This is their popcorn bucket.
I'm excited to see the one that Hugh Jackman does for Deadpool.
Oh no!
That's,
Oh yes.
that's brilliant.
The marketing is brilliant, man. You can't get mad at that.
No way.
That's so funny.
That's brilliant.
And then
Ryan
the,
Reynolds is crazy, bro. I love
And
it.
then this next part with the butter going out.
With the butter, yeah.
Right here. Designed by Deadpool. I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this movie. So,
Did you get your tickets already?
yes, I'm actually.
Bro, I
gonna
got
San
I got
Diego.
mine. I'm seeing it twice opening day.
Oh
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going at 3:00 with some family, and then I'm meeting up with Andrew and them in Orlando. We're gonna see it again at 9.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
See you guys. All right. So we have the next one. This is. I'm actually gonna get this. This is the
Oh yeah.
Christian Bale Batman Armory from Hot Toys. Now this is
Very
a
cool.
reissue. Aaron, this is a reissue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reissue, and it's a USB light up feature now too.
But
last one
the,
came out almost
the
9 years
older
ago.
one, the older one came with Alfred. This one doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
But the other one's also almost 9 years ago, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's about time due.
Mm.
It's dope.
Yeah, this is dope. I definitely want to be picking this one up. And Hot Toys does a really good job. But I love the accessory, the armory. That's just
Now you just
Yeah.
need the Iron Man with gantry to have both the billionaires side by
Oh,
side with the setup.
That's the best. That
Mhm.
piece is great.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah, this one
details
came
are
out
so
pretty.
nice.
This one has a ton of pictures, so you'll be able to like look through. Now, Rocco, what do you think of that sculpt?
I like
From a
it. You know,
professional
yeah.
point of view.
You know, I almost work with Hot Toys. We couldn't get the contracts going. It was for the Flash Batman movie.
Mm.
But
wow.
I had my lawyer look at the contract, and it wasn't sitting right. But I could have been working on some of these pieces for them.
Mm.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
Hot Toys.
I like the details. I mean, they did a good job. That outfit, I've sculpted that outfit before for Diamond's gallery line, so I know what goes into that. You know, but yeah, they nailed it. I really like the suit too. The Bruce Wayne suit. Their tailoring is just great.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. I want to get it because I have the tumbler and stuff, and
Oh, cool.
of course I need a Batman
Yeah, man.
for that one. So, but that one looks really good. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like you said, the accessories and all that are great. The head sculpt is very, very good. I like it a lot. I like it's very hard to do, especially with 3-dimensional, or in that case even 2-dimensional stuff. Subtle facial expressions are
Yeah.
sometimes harder to do than. Yeah, would you agree, Rocco?
Yeah.
Subtle facial expressions are harder to do than more extreme, pronounced stuff. And I think they did that with the more subtle you go, sometimes it feels like their face just is like blank.
Right.
Yeah, Rocco, I see you nodding your head. That can be a tough thing to pull off.
I've done a lot of portraits, and I get excited when there's an expression to do because like I did a Jack Palance recently from one of his movies, and he's got the poster with the grenade. He's biting it and throwing the grenade. That was one of the most fun pieces I've done in a while, just because I can do a different thing other than just,
Yeah, right.
cold face.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I like the subtle expressions, and if you can nail it, then yeah, it stands out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's see what else we got. So we have a Star Wars character from Hot Toys. Did you get those, Josh?
Yeah, I was wanting to show Titus.
That was a big release. This is a big
Kid
release.
Fisto was
Ooh,
it.
Kid
Yeah, I
Fisto.
saw this.
Love
This
Kid
came
Fisto.
out. This came out the graveyard.
Yeah, I've got
But this
these-
is like
I got
a
these
real
posters.
popular piece, right, Aaron?
Yeah, because I think this was finished. They had like a prototype for like a year or two, and they never announced it until now.
Yeah, because I've still got the I have the Sideshow one, the Heroes and Villains series they did, which was a great piece.
Yeah.
That's really-
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, for sure. This looks good. Look at the sculpt. He looks really, really good.
No, it is good. It's really
Oh,
cool.
look at that.
And the new
Mace
Mace Windu
Windu,
is
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
It
he's
is.
super good. That's awesome. Yeah, they killed it with this one. Look at that.
Yeah, I get excited when they update, you know, the sculpts to go back and revisit some of them.
This looks really,
Really
really good.
badass.
I feel like this is kind of like the renaissance of toy collecting right now.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah,
It is.
I'm happy to be part of it.
absolutely.
But this is cool. I think this has like the LED lightsaber and stuff, and I think they did a good job. And this is a good companion piece, so I think this is gonna sell really good.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Aaron, you getting this?
Nah, probably not.
I don't have room.
It does look good though.
All right, so the next one.
Well,
This is cool.
Can I
Oh,
show?
go ahead.
This has to go with it's. Well, we just showed Batman, so I wanted to show Titus this. I think he'd really appreciate this. The 1-to-1 with the armory.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Queen Studios,
Oh,
yeah.
man. What?
This is life size, Titus. So remember
That's-
when we were talking about building that room?
Yeah.
That addition. This has to be
Wow.
Titus is gonna get it.
I don't
This
even
is
know.
life
I
size.
can't even imagine what that. What the
Yeah, they used the
prices on that.
silicone. This was around. I want to say, if I remember correctly, it was like around 20K.
Yeah, wasn't it like 20K?
Yeah.
Wow.
With the figure, yeah.
I wonder
they
if
use- they
Christian
use,
Bale gets one.
They used the silicone, so it actually feels like real skin.
Wow.
And they had like the bust and everything too, with it. But oh
Yeah, that's right. Queen Studio usually does the bust too, the life-size ones.
yeah.
That
one's really good.
insane.
The next one we have is
Oh, wait.
this is
Sorry.
from Queen Studios as well.
Yeah.
This is the Henry Cavill.
You see, I see a lot of people complaining about this one, and for me, it's just the hair. They just got to flatten the hair. I don't see how.
Well,
Yeah.
the hair's not. They could style the hair. It's
Like
not
people
like
saying that doesn't look like Cavill. I'm like, this is proto, this is production. I mean, it looks like Cavill to me. The lighting's just pretty bad here compared to here.
Well,
but-
and it's just the lighting. But the thing with the hair is, so this is like rooted hair, Titus. So it could. And
Yeah.
this is silicone too. So like it's like very like well done. But obviously there you could style the hair. But the biggest difference here between the production and the one that they had before is the center of the base where it has the little like baby in it.
Yeah, I see that.
But this is insane. This is really
Totally crazy.
Well, no, you can put the S over the baby to cover it up, so they still get that.
That's wild.
Oh, but I wouldn't want to do that. I think that looks cool. Light up like
Yeah.
that. You
Well,
have
like,
two S's on them.
Yeah, this one got a lot of flack, and like I mean, obviously the prototype looks better. That's usually the case, but I mean the production. I think.
Picture.
What was that?
I think it's just a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's just the darker lighting, but you can't look at that and say that's not Henry Cavill. It's just you need to fix the hair, make it a little more flat to his head, like it is in the photo.
Yeah. Well, I sent you
Yeah.
other pictures for it, right? Like if you go to the side, I think there's other ones.
Oh, here's the baby.
Oh, nice.
The baby's creepy though, because I saw like them take it out, and it's a silicone baby. So
Yeah, a little
It's so
bit.
creepy, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Look at that base. That base looks good though.
That's
Got some
cool.
texture on him and stuff, but he looks really. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it was the lighting from the other picture, and you're right. The hair, if they need to style it better.
Yeah, that's all. No, because the face is really properly done.
Yeah.
I this one I can't get on board with the flack. Everybody's like, oh, it's as bad as the Thor one. I'm like, no, the Thor one came out drastically different. This one looks still good in my opinion.
I think it came out good. Now this is pretty expensive too, though. It's
Yeah,
up
these are
there.
like $4,000.
Wow.
Jeez.
I think that's the last photo I have from you, Miguel.
Yep.
How many do they make of like a life size like this?
The edition size are really small. Like I think they're like under like 200. Like they don't make a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, I don't. Do I have a silicone figure? I don't really collect like the movie stuff. I just collect like more comic accurate stuff. But this is really good.
That's very cool.
See, so this is Iron Studios. They just had their insider showcase today, and this is the Rhino. So
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of see what Kennedy thought of this because he's a Spider-Man fan. Did you see this yet, Kennedy?
Yeah, I love it. The whole
Looks
line
good,
is
right?
coming out really good, though.
It's very cool.
It's coming out really good.
For me, the showstopper was the next one.
Go
Of
ahead.
course, was the Doctor
Which one?
Strange.
Oh,
That's a killer.
Ooh, wow.
Classic.
Because they have a whole diorama with the Avengers versus Thanos, and I think it's gonna come out great. And this is like they're slowly working towards it.
The
That's
cape
awesome.
is wild. I love it.
they're coming out with some great stuff. What's this one? Harley?
Another Harley.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's never gonna be it. It's always gonna be another Harley. They're never gonna stop at Harley.
No.
Man, this is gonna be a thing. She looks good too, though.
That's
But the
cool.
cool thing about like Iron Studios, this is cool. This is like
Yeah.
a Marvel look to Wonder Woman.
And this is a Sideshow exclusive. This Marvel one.
it is.
That's
It's limited to, I think,
really
like
sweet.
200 pieces.
Wow. That is sweet.
And for all you Lord of the Rings fans,
Yeah, this is popular. Don't get it twisted. I have people hit me up for links for these.
Yeah.
For the Lord of the Rings fans, Aaron, are you included in that now? What's going on?
Wow, why do you gotta ask me that? You know,
I'm
I
just
haven't,
curious.
you know I haven't watched it yet.
Remember our deal. New York Comic Con. I'm gonna do some trivia. Every question you get
Oh,
right, free
wow.
print.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every question.
Wow.
I don't think he said that last time.
Yes, I
Well, he
did.
said it now.
I
There you
said
go.
it last time.
You better
Gotta watch those
get
movies,
to the
son.
marathon
Yeah,
this
I gotta
weekend.
get to it.
Wait, is that Evelyn?
That's yep. This
Yep.
is from Masters of the Universe. So again, Iron Studios does the dioramas, right? So they have the small pieces you could buy, obviously separate, but you can make this diorama and just make a whole display of all the figures and characters you want.
Wow.
That's their bread and butter, and they've been doing a phenomenal job. I wanted to show
Nice.
this.
Hey,
So this is actually my friend Titus. This is the Optimus Prime is here. He actually ended up in my house with the truck, and I surprised my daughter with her.
Wait a minute. I think I met this guy.
Yeah, that's you in the picture.
No, the guy. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know it's me in the picture, but I remember meeting the guy who built this.
Yes,
That was in it wasn't Ocean City. It was in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of the first cons I ever did. Yeah, that's been a few years.
Yep, it's Joe. His thing is called Optimus is here, but he has one of the only licensed trucks made into Optimus, and he's a phenomenal guy. Does a lot of things for the community and stuff. This is you taking a picture with his son.
Right.
And I seen that, and I was like, wait a minute. And I remember him telling me about it and this was a while ago when I was with him. So I brought up the pictures to show you, but yeah.
And I'm
this
rocking the
is-
Sideshow shirt.
there you go.
The Sideshow shirt, yeah.
Gotta represent.
That's cool.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, no, I really looked that thing over with the fine tooth comb because I got to ride and be around all the Transformers and when I did the movie and that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's picture ready.
And he travels all over the United States in this thing, just doing things for kids and the community and the hobby and stuff. And he's just doing a great job. So shout out to him.
Very
yeah,
cool.
really cool. Cool guys, cool.
Wow.
But that's pretty much all the figures and stuff. I don't know if you guys wanted to see this. I'll show this real quick. Let me hopefully I don't mess up anything, but let's see if I can pull this out here. I don't know if you can see that.
Whoa, what?
the new Hulk.
So that's the new
Wow.
Hulk that I just reviewed. That's
Wow.
one of them because I don't know if you can see the one down there,
Insane.
but
Still waiting for that Cyclops, man. Still waiting.
you want that one?
Wow.
He wants
Yeah,
that
I want that boy down there. That's what I want.
one. But yeah, this
Man.
Hulk just came out now, and I just reviewed this one here.
That's a great.
How heavy was
piece.
it?
Yeah. How
How
heavy
much
was
what?
How heavy was it?
Bro, this came out first off, this came. I don't know why I didn't think this was gonna happen. I really don't. But so I get a phone call and say, "Hey, we pulled up with your." Oh no, the first phone call was, "Hey, we have a pallet for you," and I'm like, "A pallet for me?" I was like,
Oh man.
she's like, "Yeah, you didn't order something that came on a pallet." I was like, "No," and she goes, I was like, well, what does it say? She says, well, is your name Miguel? I was like, yes. She's like, well, it says the Hulk. Is there something going to jump out at me? I was like, oh, no, we got she goes, well, it's going to come tomorrow. I was like, perfect. I'm going to be here tomorrow, whatever. Then my ring camera starts going off, and I go outside, and there's a huge tractor trailer just in the middle of my road, and all my neighbors are outside because my neighbors are they're just nosy. They're all outside with their families, like there was an accident or something. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So the guy comes and he gives me the paperwork, and I'm like videotaping him bringing it down. And he couldn't. First off, he didn't even have an electric pallet. They gave him a manual pallet. So I was like, what the heck? So I had to go help him push this up my driveway while all my neighbors watched as the road was like blocked off. It was insane. But this is 350 pounds on the pallet.
Shit.
Whoa. Yeah. So
that's
it's
crazy.
4 boxes. It's the 2 torsos with the extra base to display the torsos. And then it's obviously the statue itself. And you could interchange all the torsos. So if you want the Jack Kirby Hulk or the modern Hulk or the classic Hulk. And then the base is just incredible. You have the storytelling base. It shows you the evolution of the Hawks. All the Hawks are there. You know, Mr. Fix-It, Maestro, just all the Hawks are there. Planet Hawk. And then on the other side, it's his villains. I mean, he included the Juggernaut, the Leader, Absorbing Man, Abomination. All his foes are on the other side. And on the 2 sides, you're gonna see how he became the origin. You know, how he became the Hulk with the bomb and stuff. And on the other side is him transforming into the Hulk. But the whole thing is just crazy, and it's 1/3 scale. It's huge, but wow. Yeah, his fists are a little bit bigger than mine. But he's just huge. But he came out really, really good. So shout out to Legendary Beast Studios in collaboration with XM Studios and my sponsor Spec Fiction Collectibles. But yeah, I really love that piece. But
I gotta watch the review on this.
You have to. It's really good. And I'm like trying to go through it because there's a lot. So like I'm trying to like hurry up and do it. But everybody seemed to like this. So for sure.
Yeah, that's mad cool.
Titus, what are you gonna collect next? You gonna buy anything? Are you a fan of X-Men at all?
Yeah, I do. I love X-Men. I've been watching the old cartoon because it's on Disney Plus now. So
they got the new one. Yeah.
Nice.
So we
judiciously watching that.
Yeah, we've before you, we've had all that cast of the X-Men on. So every week we've had 2 or 3 of them on.
Oh, that's
Next
cool.
week we're actually gonna have Jubilee and
Nightcrawler.
Yep.
Nice.
Which I thought I sent you that, Josh. If you want to pull that up real quick.
Did you?
I did now. But yeah, so guys, so next week we are going to have Nightcrawler on and Jubilee to finish off our X-Men 97 showdown, right?
Very cool.
So we got Adrian and Holly jumping on with us, and these shows have been great, man. The TV series has been phenomenal. You know, I kind of grew up with the 92 series, so
yeah.
This is really cool, but they are going to be here next week on our next show.
Nice.
Yep. Arelis is happy. Look, she's like, Nightcrawler, yay.
he's the best.
He is. He's so good. I can't wait.
Is he the original voice too?
Yeah, he's the voice.
Yeah.
She's the newer voice for Jubilee, but he's the original. I try to have an original cast member and a new cast member on, and I love their dynamic. And it's funny because we some of them haven't met each other. So they've met through this show, and we're like, what the heck? So it's kind of funny. But yeah, but listen, that concludes our show. We are at the 10 o'clock mark. I want to appreciate Titus. Titus, thank you so much, man. I hope you enjoyed with us. And what do you have anything going on? Any projects? Anything you want to talk about? That you might have any cons or anything? Anything you want to say that you're going to be doing?
Yeah, I'll probably hit some cons over the summer. But I'm literally I can't tell titles or anything as of yet. But I'll have to come back and talk about that at a later date. But I literally I go. I got 2 movies that I'm shooting back to back, and then.
Congrats.
And then I'll go and play on the Ballard show a little bit. And then before I know it, it'll be turning around. It'll be January and I'll be going back to Bosch. But I'm definitely going to hit some cons because I missed a bunch when I was shooting because the schedule just got too crazy.
Yeah.
But I love doing the cons because I'm the guy that goes to the cons long before I was ever in a con. And people were like, where's your table? And I'd be like, what do you mean? And they were like, you're not signing anything? And I was like, no, I'm looking for comics and collectibles. So I'll definitely.
So Titus,
I'll give you a heads up.
Yeah, for sure.
Please do.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I gotta ask, when you're on different sets and different locations, does the inner collector in you seek out comic book stores? And what's
Always.
like one of the biggest things that you ever found out in the wild?
That's good.
That goes way back. But the Toy Biz did those great X-Men figures in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was in McKinney, Texas. I was shooting a movie, and they had a Walmart and they had a Target, and I went over, and nobody was buying. So they had all the Chase figures.
What?
They were literally like, they're like Iceman was the big Chase figure. You could put him in the refrigerator, and he would turn blue.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I didn't like take the entire row of all the Chase figures is because I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But I scored, man. I got every single figure that I was seeing in. You remember the Toy magazine? I'm drawing a blank on it now, but
Toy
it was
Fair?
Toy Fair. And then there was a couple other. I can't remember, but
Wizard? No, Wizard was
No.
comics.
no, it was
No, then it was Action Figure something.
Action Figure Digest.
Figured
Yeah.
that.
Yep, there it is.
So they always had the Chase. So I saw every single one of them was there. And like I would go to Walmart, and I would drive down to like City of Industry, an hour away from where I live, to go to the Walmart and to Target and Toys R Us to stock like Chase stuff. Nothing. I go to Texas, every single Chase figure that's in like the past 4 issues of the collecting magazine are there. So I literally had to fill up like giant boxes and ship them back to my house. But I still do it. I still do it. All God rest in peace. We don't have Toys R Us anymore.
Yeah, they're back in Macy's.
Good old days.
Yeah,
they're
They're
Macy's
back in Macy's now.
now.
that's all right. And not Kitty City. You guys all remember that East Coast
Yeah.
boys
Yeah,
over by Cherry Hill. Near
that's
Cherry Hill.
near me. Yeah, that's near me. That's
Near
so funny.
Collingswood. That's where my grandparents live. So that was
Really?
that was like that was the big bribe to go to Kitty City. Yeah, if you behave yourself, you can go to Kitty City and get them Aurora model kit.
They're always driving the kids back then.
Always. Hey, guy, I just want to say it's been a privilege and an honor to be on here with you guys. This is
No,
a gas,
the
man.
honor is
Same
ours.
here. Same here.
Yeah, we're so happy that you were able to make it. Our door's always open. So like in the future, if you want to jump back on after a couple of projects to talk about those, you're always welcome to come on. If you ever see anybody, any celebrity or anybody from the fandom that you like, and you're like, Miguel, I got to be on the show, you could jump on and be a panel member with us. And I've done it before. And,
Very
you
cool.
ask questions and geek out that way too with us. But I'm going to be in San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm going to be, I just announced that now, guys. I know a lot of people are like, what? But I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. So hopefully, if you make it to one of those, let me know for sure.
Definitely.
But, dude, I mean, really, thank you so much. It's been so much fun. It's different, too, because we get to geek out with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
is really cool.
This is way more fun for me.
Appreciate
Way
your
more
time, man. I really do. But real quick, before we go, Josh, thank you for being on, brother. You got anything going on?
Of course, man. I appreciate you, being here every week. Rocco, thank you for joining us today, man. Keep absolutely killing
Rocco.
it. You're doing fantastic work, my man.
Thank
And Titus, this was an absolute honor and pleasure to get down and talk with you, man. We were all geeking out and super nervous and just excited for you to come on and hang out with us. So we definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come see us.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man. And then we got Sean. Sean's our artist, man. So he's he's always at the cons and he's always up to something. What are you working on now? Did you finish that piece that you were doing at Philly Comic-Con?
Let's see. The piece I was working on at Philly Comic-Con. You'll have to be
Assassin's Creed? I can't remember.
almost done with the Assassin's Creed piece. Yeah, I'm
Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, and Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I don't even know what the hell I painted.
Look at that. We're more on top of your stuff.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yes, Kingdom Hearts. That's what you were asking about. Yeah, just finished that a little while ago. Prints are up on my website and Etsy shop. Thank you for plugging my own work better than I can. And yeah, almost done with the Assassin's Creed piece. Yeah, but on another note, thank you. This was a lot of fun, Titus. It's always cool when you see sometimes people claim, because being a nerd now is cool. You see people claim to be, oh yeah, I'm a total comic book geek. But like when they're the real deal, that's really awesome, man. You're like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I hate it when people pose, because what that does is it insults everybody else like that's in this room. You want to go like, no, wait a minute, and then you never want to be that dick who goes, let me come up with some obscure questions to see if I can expose this person. Because I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
We all derive a lot of pleasure from this, but it's like, there's no shortcuts. You either are that animal or you're not.
I love it.
Oh man.
But listen, Sean, now we gotta get you to do a Bosch painting, or maybe him in
it'll be coming
in the Mandalorian.
No, just make a painting of Bosch riding the T-Rex from Transformers.
That's on Grimlock. That'd be cool.
So Titus, true story. So I went with Sean to New York Comic Con last year, and he's very nonchalant, right? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my Wolverine piece. I'm a huge fan of Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
It's my number one guy. And I'm thinking it's a print, and I'm helping him take the stuff down to get his booth ready to open up. And he goes and he takes down this big blanket, and I just go, and my mouth is open, and I'm just like dead silence. And he turns around, he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, bro, did you do that? He's like, oh yeah, I just did this. And I'm like, put that blanket back on. We gotta show this off. Bro, it was one of the most beautiful paintings I've ever seen. And it was so
Very
good.
generous,
Got
Miguel.
the voice actor, who's a friend of mine of Wolverine, Cal Dodd from the X-Men, brought him over. He loved it. And then the guy who he commissioned for took the piece, which is, how big was the canvas?
Yeah, so picture this, middle of, I think it was Saturday, noon, which for anyone who's been to conventions, that's peak crowd time.
Yeah.
Giant Italian guy on the long side of the painting. It's about 5 feet long. Picks it up over his head, is walking through the middle of New York Comic Con show floor with this 5 foot, this giant painting, going to bring it to Cal Dodd to sign it. Cal said he was nervous because this thing was so huge. He didn't want to mess it up, in his words, which
crazy.
Yeah, but
you gotta check out his artwork, Titus. It's
definitely.
Really,
thank you, Miguel. Thank you.
Anthony Kennedy, thank you for jumping on, brother.
Thank you for having me.
How's everything? Good?
Yeah, everything's good. Just a lot of work, family issues, same old. It's always good to see Rocco. Titus, it was great meeting you.
Great to
Such
meet
a huge
brother.
fan.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being on, brother. Appreciate you as always, my guy. Aaron, thank you, bro. You have
thanks
fun?
for having me. Yeah,
Are you did you come to terms with Titus now?
I did, knowing that he's into collectibles as we are. Yeah. Poor
Oh,
Ratchet.
cool. All right. I'm glad I endeared myself.
Somebody, I think P-Rock in the comments was like, oh, he likes 3-0. Tell him I'm going to watch all his stuff now, not just the ones that I Oh, it's so funny. But Aaron, thank you, bro. I appreciate you being on.
It was nice being on with you, Rocco, and Titus. It was an honor meeting you, brother.
Word. Thank you, man. Really great to meet you.
Rocco, my guy, thank you, bro. We got to work on some more stuff in the future. But as always, man, thank you for setting this up first off, because I think without you, I don't think this would have been possible. And this is so cool. Such a different experience, man. Because like I said, we get to geek out. It's almost like we're just all enjoying the fandom and stuff. And but I appreciate you being on. I can't wait to see more stuff from you. I know we're working on the sculpt together with Tony the Toy Rat. He was in the chats earlier. I got to get Tony on the show. I don't know why I don't get him on the show.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't been on yet?
No, he hasn't. I just thought about it now. I got to get him on the show. I love Tony.
He's hosting and running the show because we're doing this. I don't know if you know this, Titus. We're doing all the there's guys that are novice. They're coming in, and we're judging their sculpting. And
cool.
Miguel's one of the judges. I'm one of the judges. And Natasha Cannon Dalex is a judge. So the three of us are. I think we did the first season already. We said who the winner is, and I think he's already starting season 2.
Yeah, we're on the second season. So basically, what it is he's getting indie writers to comic books that are not necessarily with Marvel or DC or super famous. So he's taking whatever comic line that he wants to choose from an indie artist, and then we get to kind of read up on it. And then he picks 3 sculptors that are obviously not like the caliber of Rocco or working with companies to give them a chance to sculpt one of the characters from this comic book that we're learning about too. So it's giving an opportunity to people in the comic book industry that haven't made it yet, and it's giving an opportunity for people in the sculpting world that haven't made it yet. And it's been great because it's shedding spotlight across the board in the hobby, and we get to be the judges. And it's cool because Rocco's getting his perspective from the sculpting side. I'm doing the perspective from like the review side of the statue and the character, and so is Natasha. And Tony's just been doing great. When he told me about the project, I was like, heck yeah, it's gonna do something for somebody. And it's like $1,000 prize for every show.
That's great.
And then
great.
The finalist, the champion, can win up to $10,000.
Nice.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah,
That's great.
Great. Yeah. So, but Rocco, thank you, bro. You got anything going on? Anything happening soon?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more projects with Hollywood Collectibles. So I got the quarter scale RoboCop coming out.
We gotta get them on the show.
Yeah, so that one I'm excited about. It should be, I think, any month. Well, any week now, not any month now, because production I think is getting close to finished. I did the Stargate life-size mirror from the Stargate movie. And we did the Anubis too, the quarter scale. And I'm doing a bunch of things I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about yet for them yet, but they're also fun properties from say 1979 with a certain Sigourney Weaver.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun.
Yeah, won't say no more.
Do some other monster stuff too. I'm also working with Caustic Plastic. They're doing a lot of 12-inch figures.
I love
that one. I can't even give a hint on because I don't want to get in trouble.
Did I tell you they partnered with me?
No.
I just did a review for their Fonzie figure.
Oh, awesome!
And I was blown away because it came with so much stuff. And I got the Twin Peaks one and Dracula. So
with them though, one of them I think I could talk about because I did a Lon Chaney project for them.
Oh,
they're going to announce that one I think in like a week, but I can't say which property it is yet. But it's a lot of fun. It's a cool piece and the accessory that comes with it. So when you start doing reviews, I'll come on too if you want, and we'll talk about it.
Maybe we can do one for Chaostic. That's cool. Chaostic has been great, man. They have such a niche, right, for those like old school action or old school 70s, 80s type thing. But like I can't wait to do more with them. And like I said, I did the Fonz figure. I did that one first because I'm more familiar with that. I watched it at Nick and Night, Happy Days, but I was very, very young. But I was very impressed. It came with a Bluetooth jukebox you could put music on too, and
nice.
That's cool. Really good. Yeah. So shout out to them. I'm gonna be seeing them at San Diego Comic-Con too. But I appreciate you, Rocco, and once again, Titus, thank you so much, man. I really
thank you guys
being on.
Thank you.
If you need anything, the door is always open. Now that I'll be promoting all your stuff as I see more things going on. But
likewise, brother.
Man.
I can't wait to come back.
Oh, dude, whatever. And like I said, if you see anything you want to jump on, let me know. You always got a seat here on the panel for sure. Okay, bud?
Sweet.
Thank you, brother. Well, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for being on. Those watching the replay, make sure you smash that like button. Give us a comment. Titus,
before we go, should we get our group photo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's get a group photo. Hold on. I always forget. Thank you. Hold on. Let me.
We forgot to do it with Magneto, so.
No, we did it with Magneto, did we? I think we did. All right, ready, guys?
We did forget with one, though. I think you're right, Josh.
Did we? All right, ready? 1, 2. Oh, wait, the balloons.
Oh, Titus has a balloon thing.
Where did the balloons go from? Hold on, one more.
Some of the newer versions, they like sense. They sense, yeah.
All right, ready? 1, 2. There we go. All right, perfect. I got it. All right, guys, that's about it, man. Let's wrap this show up. Where is my outro? And we'll see you guys next week with more of the X-Men. Peace, y'all. Bye.